Yo, what's up YouTube? James Baek here. Welcome back to another episode of VGC 2019 Baek Battles Ultra Series Edition. Today, we are going to be using the team we used in the first episode. We have Kangaskhan, Ultra Necrozma, we got Xerneas, Incineroar, Amoonguss, and Tapu Fini. If you haven't checked out the previous episode, I highly recommend go check it out, but let's get started and play some games. So, last time we had some pretty intense games, and it was a pretty great way to start the series off, but let us see if we can continue and pick up some more wins and learn more about this team and what else everyone else is using on the Battle Spot ladder. Since I haven't really been able to play too much Pokemon, it's always a great learning experience just to see like what other trainers are using. But we got our first opponent using Dialga Ho-Oh. Really interesting combination. You have Dialga Ho-Oh with Tapu Koko, Gengar, Landorus Fairy, and Ferrothorn. So I think Ultra Necrozma would be an excellent sweeper in this game, and I'm definitely leaning towards it. It's very solid in this matchup. The ability to snarl, the ability to Ultra Necrozma is great, and Incineroar. I'm thinking Incineroar because I can snarl a lot of these Pokemon, and Ultra Necrozma can help get rid of them. I'm thinking no Xerneas because I don't think Xerneas is that great here. It doesn't really do too much for me. I can see myself bringing Amoonguss. I think Amoonguss is okay, although I'm not a huge fan of it because it does nothing to the Ho-Oh and the Ferrothorn and can't really spore with the Tapu Koko most likely being brought. I'm leaning towards Kangaskhan, Necrozma, Incineroar, and Tapu Fini as my Pokemon. I like Tapu Fini because I can get rid of Electric Terrain as well as Heal Pulse, which is really good. So yeah, I think I want to lead the Necrozma and Incineroar. I think it's a really good combination just because I don't see much my opponent can really do against it. I want to have Kangaskhan and Fini in the back. I think the goal is to sweep with the Ultra Necrozma, have it set up, do some really good damage, use Incineroar as a tool that can slow down my opponent with snarls and U-turn out, with that Intimidate and Fake Out cycle. So I think that's going to be the way I want to play this game. Let's make sure my mic is on so I'm not wasting time. Yep, my mic is on. Perfect. I should probably check that before, but we got Necrozma and Incineroar as the lead here. We got Gengar and Landorus coming out. So that's a pretty rough situation already for us right off the bat. Landorus Intimidate goes off first. No surprise there. That doesn't really tell us anything. At least we do get some pretty good advantage here, because we could go for, I think it really just depends on what my opponent really wants to do. Do you want to protect Gengar, or do you want to go on the offense here? I'm thinking that Gengar might just want to go on the offense, because if I go for a Calm Mind immediately, my opponent would be in a lot of troubles here. But it would really depend if you expect me to attack the Gengar this turn. So, really depends here. I think Fake Out plus the Photon Geyser isn't the worst play in the world, as we're going to see the Landorus actually retreat here into the Dialga. So interesting play by my opponent's side. I'll definitely take that. We'll see what my opponent really decides to do here. The Dialga is something I'm going to have to be a little bit cautious of. We are going to see the Gengar Mega Evolve here. And I guess I could have thrown off a Snarl. Although I can't really risk Landorus going for like a Tectonic Rage or anything. So I think this is better. So we'll see what my opponent decides to do. Yep, Gengar doesn't protect here. Maybe a sub. I could definitely see a substitute if it has it. We are going to see substitute, which is a very solid mid-ground play for my opponent. So, not the worst case in the world. We will be able to get Photon Geyser off into my opponent, and that will break the sub. So at least my opponent doesn't get a free substitute, which is pretty good. Although Dialga getting in is a bit questionable, and I'm also trapped in. Don't forget. So, not exactly the best situation for us, but definitely not the worst. I think I could Calm Mind here, because it just really depends on, do you want to attack the Necrozma or not? Maybe you want Gengar to protect. Landorus could definitely cycle in. There's quite a few things that could be done here. I don't think you want to take a Photon Geyser with Gengar though, so I don't think you would go on the offense realistically. I'm leaning towards Snarl because it would go through a substitute, and my opponent decides to substitute again, but I don't think he would substitute here. I think I'm going to U-turn out to Dialga. I don't think Dialga does too much against my Pokemon, but who knows. We're going to see a substitute again, which is unfortunate for me. I could have went for Snarl here and got a lot of momentum, but I don't think it's too bad. I get a Calm Mind up with Necrozma. This allows me to knock out the Landorus at +1 with Photon Geyser, unless it is an Assault Vest variant or just super bulky in general, so that's not too bad. Our power going to come out into the Necrozma slots, so probably just trying to put me in range of the Shadow Ball Why did it have to get the special defense drop? I wanted that boost. Not the end of the world, but like, that's really frustrating. That's really frustrating, actually. We can get Kangaskhan in, though. That is just so frustrating for us. Well, I could predict, but I'm not really going to. I think Lander should come in and Gengar protects. I could try to capitalize by going for a Calm Mind. Yet, I feel like there's also a potential chance my opponent could just go for a Shadow Ball and then a Necrozma and knock it out, which would be a free switch in the Landers for Intimidate to voice and locate, but no protects coming out. Maybe this can get me back in the game if I crit the crunch into the Gengar slot. Gengar gonna protect though. Now we're getting some frustrations. Okay. Maybe you're just trying to Earth Power the Necrozma once again for damage. Or maybe you're trying to target the Kangaskhan to chip it. Trick Room. Interesting play there. I'm not sure what you're trying to set up. Airform Sweep? Not really. Because I get Crunch and Earth Power the Gengar slot now. I think that's definitely worth it because I'm just really surprised he would protect and Trick Room out of all options. This Gengar doesn't seem to be slow. I'm going to take a lot from the Earth Power from the Dialga, but that's also going to be a pain. We are going to see that Earth Power come out. We should live it though, based on the damage from the previous one. Yeah. But it kind of sucks that we just took all that damage. So we will get an Earth Power off in the Gengar. We will be able to knock out with Crunch. The Trick Room is just really confusing me here because I'm not sure what my opponent's trying to go for at this point. We will be able to get a Crunch off into the Gengar slot, which will be able to pick up the knockout. So at least we get rid of Gengar, which means we no longer are trapped, but it's still pretty uphill battle. The good point is at least we can heal pulse my Necrozma later in the game, so that's always a positive. We're going to see the Ho-Oh come out, which is interesting here. Incineroar looks like a good switch along with Tapu Fini. Just got to figure out which slot. I think I want to switch in the Fini for the Necrozma slot. And switch out the Kangaskhan for the Incineroar for that Intimidate. Because I feel like now I could go for Nature's Madness, damage my opponent's team, and then stall out Trick Room to where I can potentially win with my Necrozma. There are some counterpoints to this issue though. One is the fact that my opponent could have Tailwind on Ho, so on the last turn of Trick Room, my opponent could get Tailwind up, and then I'm fighting like this, always fighting in a position where I'm not exactly having that speed advantage. Although Incineroar should be the slowest thing on the field, it's not really doing too much right here. So yeah, we should be able to get a Light Screen, maybe a Light Screen and a Heal Pulse. Let's see what my opponent decides to go for. Earth Power going to come out. Ooh, nice play into the Incineroar slot. Very nice play. That does a lot. Maybe it's a double up. Stop getting the special defense drop. Isn't it 10%? Sacred Fire into the Tapu Fini. Okay. Seriously? Guess we could heal pulse the Incineroar here and fake out the do we light screen up or do we heal pulse? I feel like heal pulse is the play. I think Ho is gonna switch out on Landers, which I wouldn't be surprised about, but oh, we see protects from Dialga specifically. Okay. That's not too bad of a trade. Let's see if the Ho can knock out Incineroar at -1. Oh, we didn't know where the Z move is. The Ho was faster than my Fini, so that has speed investment. Okay. Incineroar will be able to heal up at least, and we'll see a Recover come out. Okay. Maybe expecting a Z move, Nature's Madness combination? I don't know. But that works out in our favor now. We can go for a Light Screen here, which is positive. And we can go for the U-turn into the... I think we just U-turn the Dialga slot. Yeah, we just U-turn the Dialga slot. We try to bring in Kangaskhan. We save the Intimidate for later in the game. And with the Light Screen up, we should be able to survive a lot of the attacks that the Ho can throw off. And we could always just rotate around. So at least it's not the end of the world, but our position's still not the greatest. Because we're fighting through uphill battle right now. While we don't have much damage output, but my opponent does. But we do have Heal Pulse, which is nice. Our power gonna come out into the Feeny slot this time. Okay, maybe trying to get rid of Feeny to deny my heal pulse options later in the game. Light screen will go up, which is really good here. And a recover again. My opponent's playing really defensive here. Trick Room returns to normal, which is good here. Because I can go for an Icy Wind. I don't really care about speed advantage right now. I think Icy Wind's a really safe play here. I don't want to double edge the Dialga slot expecting Landers. I'm not sure. Because I could low kick, I could fake out. There are a lot of things I could do. I think I'm just going to go for a low kick here. It covers a lot of bases, I think. Icy Wind, the low kick, I think covers a lot of bases. We are going to see the Dialga retreat, so I could have double edged. Could have went with my gut, but it's still not too bad. Icy Wind damage on Landers is no joke. I don't know if my opponent's going for Tailwind though. That's like the big question. But I think we're in a decent spot now. Low kick. If we hit the Icy Wind, specifically on the Landers. So let's see. This goes for a Brave Bird, which is fine. It's -1, so it's not too bad. And that will target the Kangaskhan. Yep, you need damage on Kangaskhan. Nice. We will be able to get the Icy Wind off. And nice. Oh, that's big damage in the Landers. That's not even a crit, is it? I don't think that is. Nice. Double Edge will definitely be able to pick up the knockout. Kangaskhan will 100% outspeed the Lander. So now it's a game of what do I want to go for. I could Heal Pulse here, and I think Heal Pulse is the play. I could Nature Smash as a Ho-Oh too, but I don't want Kangaskhan to be too weakened. So we'll go for Heal Pulse into the Ho-Oh slot. Double Edge is definitely my play into Landers, I think. I think you're doubling on a Dialga no matter what, but I think it's the best play no matter what. Yeah. I just can't really see drawback. Protect is fine too, because I heal pulse my Kangaskhan for free, and I think that's really good for me regardless. So, double edge into protect. Tailwind? We saw recover Sacred Fire and Brave Bird, right? So, either Tailwind or protect is your last move. Whirlwind, okay. So what's getting me broad here? I mean, no matter what, I think any Pokemon that's being brought out here is fine. Yeah, Incineroar coming out. I mean, the Landers revealed Protect, so it's not really going to be able to do too much. So I can just Icy Wind again, I think, and U-turn out. Because even if Dialga comes in, I don't think it's that much of a problem. Because my Feeny will outspeed this Landers. And we could U-turn out. As long as we don't miss. Missing would be really bad. Landers does switch out though, no surprise there. Here comes the Dialga. So that's fine. We're going to be able to get more chip damage into this Dialga. We will be able to get an Icy Wind off. And this hole is at -2, so even if it's staying in, it's really not doing anything to my team regardless. So, Icy Wind will cover these Landers staying in. Brave Bird's going to come out. Probably target down my Feeny, I would imagine at this point. You need to get rid of my Feeny. Yep. Really doesn't do much damage. U-turn going to come out to the Dialga slot. And I could go Necrozma here if I really want to and play super aggressive, because I can just heal pulse away. But Kangaskhan seems like a very safe play here. Should be a safe play. I could probably low kick, but the problem is, does my opponent switch in Ho again? I kind of wish I got the Misty Terrain reset, because I just don't want to get burned. Which I feel like my opponent is 100% going to go for. So I think I'm going to go Incineroar here actually, and fake out the Ho slot. What's nice is the Landers is in range of -1 double edge, and we know that my Kangaskhan will always outspeed the Landers regardless. So we'll go Incineroar here. The reason we're going to go Incineroar here is we get the Intimidate off in the Ho-Oh. We can switch in our Feeny afterward. We have really good offensive pressure here against my opponent, and I think that's 100% worth it. And yeah, Dialga's going to protect, not wanting to fear low kick, and you can't switch in the Landers if I go for an Icy Wind again. So I'm able to get a fake out off into the Ho slot, which gets a critical hit, which is good measure. But that's Citrus Berry or Key Berry? Citrus. Okay. Interesting item choice when it has Recover too, but alright. I could low kick the Dialga, I could fake out the Ho-Oh, I could double edge the Dialga, I could get in Feeny, which isn't too bad. Do I have light screen still up? No, I don't. Okay. I mean, we saw that the Ho doesn't have Protect. I think I'm just gonna fake out the Ho and double edge it. I just don't want to play around the Dialga, if anything. I'd rather just knock out this Ho-Oh if I can. Because Dialga really can't do too much to my team. So I'm going to go for Double Edge here into the Ho-Oh. Even at -1, I just covered the Landers coming in. We knock out the Ho-Oh in one Double Edge, which I was not expecting. I thought it'd be a bit more physically bulky, but that works out in our favor. As Dialga going to set up the Trick Room, which is fine. Yeah, because I still think we're in a good position. Is the Landers and Flare Blitz range is the question? If it is, I just want a Flare Blitz. It's pretty low. That's close. Yeah, that's really close. I gotta save Kangaskhan because Kangaskhan can win this game. I'm gonna U-turn the Landers for Chip. Bringing out Feeny seems like the best play. I might not need Necrozma in this game after all, but I'm pretty sure I can just win now without it. I'm pretty sure Kangaskhan is just the key to victory here. Because as long as I can heal pulse to Kangaskhan and chip, knock out this Landers, I should be able to win the game. Because Dialga really doesn't do much damage, especially, we don't know its last move. Well, Earth Power, you want to assume Flash Cannon for Xerneas, right? Oh, the Dialga's min speed on my opponent's side. Ugh. U-turn. That's not good at all, actually. Did I bring the wrong Incineroar? Cause, wait. Oh, that's Iron Ball Dialga. Oh, no, it's just -2 speed. Never mind. I was wondering why I was so slow. I forgot that I, Maybe we go Necrozma here. In case my opponent shouldn't Earthquake here, but I don't want Kangaskhan to take a random Z move. Or superpower, so I'd rather just go Necrozma here. Tectonic Rage is going to come out, which is fine. Yep. I'm guessing that's into the Feeny slot, so unfortunately I'm going to lose Feeny, which means I lose my Heal Pulse option, but if I just stall out Trick Room, I think I'm okay here. Tectonic Rage will come out into my Feeny, yep. So Feeny will go down, not too much of a surprise. I think I'm still good though. I should just be able to get Incineroar in and then fake out the Dialga, and most Landerses are usually max speed, so I think my if they're running Tectonic Rage, you kind of need max speed to deal with Groudon, so I'm pretty sure my Necrozma should outspeed this Landers under Trick Room, and then we should be able to get a Photon Geyser off and a fake out on a Dialga. So let's see how this works. Even then, I'm very confident Kangaskhan can still just win this game afterward. Dialga going to protect here, so I guess my opponent's going to try to Earthquake, or maybe a double protect. Maybe it's an Earth Power Landers. Fake out into the Dialga. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, yeah. They have to run max speed Landers if you're running Tectonic Rage to deal with the Primal. So Photon Geyser will be able to knock out Landers. And that's now a 100% game, because now I can just rotate around. I could go for a Burst here. Actually, there's so many options I have. I just can't really see me losing here. I'm going to protect Necrozma actually and go Kangaskhan, because then I could fake out Calm Mind and then I can burst Low Kick afterward, and that should 100% seal this game. Because I just can't see how my opponent would get out of the situation, because, yeah, it's not looking good for my opponent. Because Earth Power Crit will knock out Kangaskhan, which is very positive here, as Earth Power going to come out into Necrozma slot, which is okay. And now, we go for Calm Mind. We go for Fake Out, then next turn we can... Trick Room's over, we can burst, Earth Power, Low Kick, and 100% win this game. So match is going to be forfeit, realizing that, and end up taking the victory. I think the only turn... I feel like we should have had that game, realistically. I just don't know what my opponent's thought process was of getting that Trick Room up. Because I felt like my opponent was in a commanding spot, especially since the special defense drop on Necrozma really hurt, because it made me have to really worry about that Shadow Ball, but the... Gengar never went for Shadow Ball, so I'm wondering if it even had Shadow Ball. I mean, it should, right? Because you're not running Hidden Power Water if you're not running Kyogre. Even the Rayquaza, like, there was no Rayquaza on that team, so you want to assume Substitute. Unless maybe it's like one of those Sludge Bomb Substitute and then one of the support moves like Taunt or Will-O-Wisp or something like that, so maybe it didn't have a way to actually touch my Necrozma, so maybe that's why my opponent just didn't want to target it and just decide to keep going for Substitutes. That would be the only explanation. Otherwise, he pretty much just had a free Shadow Ball and Necrozma in my opinion, and Sucker Punch or Crunch would have knocked out that second hit, I think. Because the first Crunch would break the substitute. The second hit, I don't think would knock out the Gengar at half. So, yeah. Otherwise, yeah, I think it was just to protect Trick Room because he had Gengar in the Trick Room. I had the ability to knock you out, and then I was able to switch again, and you know, switching was really big here. Ultra Necrozma, I said, was something going to be really good at setting up. We didn't set up, unfortunately, but I felt like it was because we had to deal with under Trick Room. And Feeny and Kangaskhan actually did really work. As you saw, Kangaskhan really threatened my opponent's team. Like, Double Edge was going to hurt hard. Even with the Parental Bond nerf, we had Low Kick for the Dialga. Fake Pressure was pretty good. Crunch for that Mega Gengar. We had Heal Pulse with top of Feeny. And since Kangaskhan has a really good natural bulk, we were just able to tank the attacks from my opponent. So, yeah, really nice. Otherwise, yeah, I think there were probably a few turns I could have played better. Snarling would have probably put us in a pretty good position. Like when you snarled and earth powered, I think, or was it Trick Room substitute? No, you didn't Trick Room yet. It was earth power and into Necrozma and a substitute. I could have snarled, and snarl would have put me in a fantastic position. Because one, it would have put the Gengar in range of that second hit Crunch after I get rid of the substitute, and two, I could just U-turned afterward and been pretty safe. So yeah, I think that might have been a better play, but I just really didn't want my opponent to get in Landorus again, because I think Landorus would have been something that would have been really problematic. But okay, time to continue part 2 of this episode. We are going to find a second game, and yeah, really hoping that my computer will be fixed soon. As I mentioned before, the battery port isn't exactly functional. I can't charge it while the laptop is on, and my laptop lasts 20 minutes at most while recording. I'm actually amazed because when I looked back at the first part, when I was ending the first part, my battery was like at 5%. It almost went down, and I would have lost the entire recording potentially. So that was a really close call. As we got our next opponent, a 1665 rated player from Japan, for our second battle of today, running a Rayquaza team, running the Kyogre Landorus variant, the Rayquaza, Tapu Koko, Incineroar, and Serena. We've seen a lot of these recently, and oh man, Serena, Rayquaza, it's always a mind game at Team Preview in the best of one. Is it going to be Scarf, which has been probably the most common actually on Rayquaza. I've seen a lot more Scarf Kyogres than I have Primal Kyogres, which is actually a surprise, but yeah, that is something to be potentially scared about. So also another thing that's really scary is the fact that this can be really scary. Yeah. It's just the fact that Serena does block Fake Out, so I can't exactly Fake Out the Scarf Ogre and Calm Mind up immediately. So that's a bit of a problem. I want to go Necrozma here, I think. Necrozma can Calm Mind pretty effectively against my opponent. I really do like Feeny in the back. I think Feeny is good. Mungus isn't that bad because Redirection could be really decent against my opponent's team, but I think I really like Xerneas, and the question is, what do I like in the back? Incineroar's Intimidate seems really, really solid here, but I don't know. Kangaskhan doesn't look too bad either as a damage output user. I don't remember Kangaskhan can live a Scarf Water Spout since we never really used it, but I think I'm going to bring in Incineroar actually. The reason I'm bringing in Incineroar is because I think Intimidate's going to be really crucial as well in this matchup. I don't know, there's like a lot of tools that I really want. Intimidate's definitely one of them though, so we'll see how this goes. It's going to really come down to how well we can play against the Ogre if it is that Choice Scarf variant. If it's Primal Kyogre, it's probably easier to deal with because I don't have to worry about it outspeeding my team. So we'll go with Necrozma Feeny. It seems like a pretty solid lead against my opponents. Kyogre Serena. Okay, this is deja vu. So I got quite a few options here. I can go for a Calm Mind. I can go for a Light Screen. I could go for an Icy Wind here, although I don't know how helpful that really is. I really do like getting a Calm Mind up. Doesn't seem too bad. There could be a Fainto for Serena if I protect Necrozma, although I think he would either want his Power Whip here. Another play we could see is maybe a Tapu Koko coming in, which I'm not exactly too sure would come out here. So really just super worrisome time right now. I do want to scout with Necrozma, I think, and I think I do want to get a Light Screen up. Even at the cost of Feeny, it's not too bad because maybe I could get that free switch into the Xerneas and Geomancy and a Calm Mind up at the same time. We're actually going to see the Kyogre switch out into the Incineroar, which is an interesting play on my opponent's part. So I'm wondering if that is the potential Z move user. We've seen Z Serena on these teams, but Z Incineroar is definitely a potential threat. So not too bad a turn. Yeah, I don't think this is too bad a turn. We will be able to get a Protect off with our Necrozma here and Light Screen up. Also, we did confirm it is a Scarf Kyogre. Just forgot to mention that. So we get Light Screen up. We're going to see the Z move Bloomdom. Yep. So that's okay. I could have went Incineroar here, but obviously I don't want to see it if it's a Water Spout into another thing. So I think this is an okay turn. We'll see the Bloomdom come out, but I think that's alright here. Because next turn I could probably just Calm Mind with Necrozma and Geomancy, because I am really having some nice offensive pressure against my opponent's team right here. Because you can't really let Xerneas set up here. If you let Xerneas set up, you're in a lot of trouble. So I don't know if you would target on my Necrozma immediately. I guess maybe it could be a potential option, but who knows? I think Xerneas is fine. I could have gone Incineroar, yes, but the thing is, I can't fake out my opponent's team. My opponent can fake me out, and then there are quite a few options. Like, my opponent could go back into Kyogre, and then I'd be in a really tough position afterward, I feel like. So we'll Calm Mind here with Necrozma and just Geomancy, I feel like. I think it is the best play possible here, because I just don't see a real way. My opponent can't stop both my setups, and as long as I get one of them set up, it's pretty good. Fake Out gonna come out, gonna target down the Xerneas, which is fine. I wonder if it's a Power Whip too. I guess I could have protected, but I just really didn't want my opponent to get a free switch into Scarf Ogre. A free switch into Scarf Ogre I feel like would end me, so we'll see if my opponent decides to switch into Ogre now, which is definitely a potential play. Yeah, it's a U-turn. Okay, not surprised. That was a good amount of Necrozma though. We should see the Kyogre come out. My Xerneas in range of Water Spout. I feel like I might live the Water Spout. Actually, it might be a roll. Oh, Rayquaza comes out instead. Interesting decision. That's a very interesting decision on my opponent's part. I could Earth Power the Incineroar. Would you Swords Dance here? I don't think you would. I mean, Earth Power should knock out the Incineroar, because Helping Hand barely misses the KO. Or it's actually a roll on Incineroar, so I feel like +1 should knock out Incineroar. I feel like it might be a roll, potentially. I could Gleam here, too. I think it's just better to go Incineroar and just knock out my opponent's Incineroar. I'm in a pretty decent spot here where I can just get a lot of damage on my opponent's team. So I'm going to sack Incineroar here. Even though it might not be the best play, it's definitely a play that's worth it, I feel like, in my opinion. Because getting this Intimidate off, knocking out this Incineroar, that can prevent a Snarl or potential Fake Outs later in the game. And yeah, I think if you're Rayquaza, I think you're forced to target down the Xerneas. Because if I set up a Xerneas once, if I Geomancy here, getting a hard read right, you absolutely lose this game. So we'll see if my opponent makes a hard read here or not, but I don't think so. Delta Strain, this is the first time we're seeing this animation in game. Well, on the series, but it's a pretty bad animation. I don't know how they messed up this animation compared to Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, which was okay. Like, that animation was fine. I don't get why it's like this. I don't know, it looks like a glitch. It looks like a glitchy screen right now. Earth Power gonna come out in Incineroar. Oh, that's bad. That's annoying. That's really annoying. Well, at least it's not Z, but still. Dragon Sun gonna come out probably into my Incineroar, and then, I don't know, U-turn, a Darkest Lariat, or Snarl is coming out for sure. Yeah, it has to target down my Incineroar slot. No surprise there. Special defense drop. Yeah, U-turn. That's so frustrating, man. I guess there are like a few scenarios now that makes this game very interesting. Yeah, there are a few things that make this game very interesting. One is the fact that if Kyogre comes out, do you switch into Serena afterward? Because then I could Fake Out. If that's the case, I could potentially knock out the Kyogre because it's forced to lock in a Water Spout. Water Spout won't do too much to my Incineroar. A play I could see is Kyogre switching out into Serena and then a Dragonzone coming out. That would be a really good play for my opponent, I think. Because I think it covers like both options. Unless I decide to attack the Rayquaza here, which I'm very tempted to. I feel like Serena comes out no matter what though. At least Rain isn't up, which is good. Icy Wind won't knock out Necrozma either. I don't know, I think Fake Out's the play in Rayquaza. Let's see who my opponent switches out, or if there is no switch out. Rayquaza is going to switch out, so Serena is going to come out. Yeah, no surprise. So, good play by my opponent. Is there a way I can get out of this? At least, light screen doesn't even matter. Maybe I should have targeted down to... Maybe I should have Calm Minded again, actually. Calm Mind would have been a better play, I think. Or Earth Power, actually, in a Kyogre. I like that Burns the Sky. I don't think the Z will really matter unless the Rayquaza is an Assault Vest variant, because I'm pretty sure I would have knocked out everything with a Photon Geyser anyway. But the reason I went for the Z was to knock it out, but I think a better play instead would have actually been to just go for a Earth Power into the Kyogre slot, or maybe even the Photon Geyser if Kyogre lives it. Because the Water Spout would have been really low, I could have Geomancied finally with my Xerneas, and then I could have went for the Z move into the Serena slot and knocked it out the following turn. Now that I think about it, I think I like that game plan a lot better than what I'm doing right now because, yeah, it wasn't really the most optimal thing to get rid of the Kyogre because now my opponent gets a free switch into Rayquaza and that makes this game a bit more complicated. So, now I think it comes down to a potential 50-50. Yeah, as we knock out the Kyogre, I cover up the Z-move animation, so I think we should be fine. I didn't realize I was talking through the Z-move animation, which is copyrighted. Is there a way out of this? I can see a potential way out of this, but I have to call 50-50s now. You should be always going Rayquaza 100%. Maybe even go Incineroar. I could see Incineroar going out just for fake out pressure. Like, you would force me to maybe try to go for the double protect, and then you would maybe try to feint here. There are a few options. Incineroar is going to come out, so this makes this game very interesting. I think Geomancy plus Earth Power is my play here. I don't think I can afford to protect when there's a feint that could be super obvious right here. A feint would lose me the game. Yeah. I'd rather go for Geomancy. I might have to hope for a Power Whip endgame miss. Yeah. Because your options are Fake Out, Attack. Which is Fake Out, okay. And a Xerneas, alright. Photon Geyser will knock out the Incineroar. This might be a U-turn in a Necrozma. I don't think that knocks it out, but that'll put me in Feint or Extreme Speed range, so this is really bad. Let's see. Okay. I would have had to... Oh, that actually just knocks out the Necrozma instead. Then you get in Rayquaza, then you could go Serena, then you could Helping Hand, Dragon's Ascent, and that would be game. Okay. I guess then I would have had to protect, but I was too worried about the feint mind game. Because if I double protect there and my opponent goes for the feint plus a dark type move to knock out, or even feint U-turn, I think feint U-turn would have sealed it up into Necrozma slot, so I couldn't let my opponent get a potential U-turn. I had to go for a read there. Is the game frozen? Oh no, my opponent had to select the slot. Okay. Serena gonna come out. I just don't. Yeah, this game's over. Helping Hand Dragon's Ascent should finish it off. I gotta hope that Rayquaza doesn't KO for some reason. It's not Sash, which is very unlikely because I'm pretty sure this is gonna KO. It's like a equivalent to a Choice Band Dragon's Ascent. And as much as Xerneas is a pretty bulky Pokemon, this Mega Rayquaza base 170 attack stat, I just don't see a way out. Yeah. Good game to my opponent. Really well played. I think there was one turn that I think I could take from this game, and I really think was probably the game deciding turn, or could have been the game deciding turn, was when I Z moved into the Kyogre slot. If I didn't Z move into the Kyogre slot, I feel like I actually would have had a really, really good opportunity there, because as I mentioned before, I think I mentioned the place I could have done before, letting that Kyogre just water spout and basically allowing the Kyogre to water spout, and then it would have been great for me, because since I KO'd the Kyogre, my opponent got a free switch in for momentum. If my opponent actually didn't have if the Kyogre was really low, that was the opportunity I needed to seize, because then I could have got Xerneas in, Geomancy, Z moved into the Serena slot the following turn to cover a lot of things, because he would probably have to double switch, but then at least Xerneas is boosted. I guess maybe like the one concern I do have about that play is my opponent could double switch into Incineroar for the Serena slot, and then the Rayquaza could come in. But I think even then, like, I'd still probably be in an advantageous position. So I think it just really comes down to that, and I think it was a better game plan overall. I think I did mess up the turn where also with the fake out Fate mind game, but that was like a mind game I had to play, because I felt like if I double protected there, made the obvious double protect, and my opponent was able to capitalize, I feel like I just lost. In the meantime, I think maybe just going for a well, even then, like, even if I double protected, right, and got that read right, I think my opponent just still won the game anyway. Since U-turn KO'd my Necrozma, all you really had to do was the next turn stay with Incineroar. I think you just double U-turned in Necrozma. Maybe I could have capitalized hard and Geomancy at that point and caught the U-turn, like, to try and prevent a U-turn. I would have had to make a hard read, but that's all situational. I think, again, that one play of just tarting down the Kyogre slot was the right play, but I think that's gonna be it. My opponent played really well, and I definitely can see some plays that could have been more optimal. But hope everyone enjoyed today's episode of VGC 2019 Baek Battles. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like down below, shows your support, as well as you can check out the rest of my stuff down below in the description, such as my social media, the side saves of my channel, and all that other good stuff will be linked in the description down below, along with the placement of this team if you do want to go try it out, my side series on the channel, and of course if you do want to go that extra mile to support my channel, there is my Patreon page linked down below. But otherwise, you can always just support this video by leaving a like, sharing it with your friends, and leaving a comment down below. Otherwise, thank you all for tuning in. Have a great day, people. Until we battle again, I'll catch y'all later.